So this delicious and healthy recipe features a probiotic yogurt. And Jeremy and I had a lot of fun with this yesterday as he's at the grocery store, and I'm saying, you know what? We need a specific kind of yogurt.
This is very fascinating.
Yeah.
Very fascinating. Okay.
So although all yogurts are made with a live bacterial culture, most do not have probiotics added after fermentation. And probiotics are beneficial bacteria that are alive and that have been scientifically proven to provide a specific health benefit when consumed in adequate amounts. So it needs all of that criteria. So it needs to be live, it needs to be scientifically proven, and it needs to be taken in adequate amounts. So we typically avoid mentioning specific brand names, but we had to make an exception today because it was hard to find a yogurt that had met all this criteria. And so Activia yogurt, Activia probiotic yogurt, first of all, on the front it says gut health. Now we know that gut health can mean a variety of things, but if you look more closely, it'll say that, we can send a link to the people online. If you look more closely in the ingredient list, first of all, you see that it gives you the active probiotic culture, and it gives you the genus, which is the Bifidobacterium. It gives you the species, which is the Lactis, but it also gives you the strain. So specific CNCM 12494. So yes, it's a bit of a chemical.
You all knew that,
right? The thing about it is that you could have, and the reason why it needs to be so specific is because you could have a probiotic that starts out as Bifidobacterium lactis, but then the strain is different and it could be harmful for you. So just being a different strain can be harmful versus helpful. And so that's what you're looking for, something that's specific. If you're going to say you're a probiotic item, you also have to indicate how many probiotics are in there. So for instance, this says 1 billion active probiotics, and it says it supports digestive health. It actually goes further to say that it's specific for helping the flora in your gut. So you need all of that to be actually considered a probiotic. Otherwise, you're just a live microorganism floating around in a food.
I found that incredibly fascinating because I think it was just general knowledge that all yogurts have probiotics, which is not actually the case at all. That blew my mind.
We have been incorrect in our use of probiotics, and I'm here. I'm not the probiotic police.
You are today.
It was very interesting. And maybe I'll just talk about cooking with probiotics. Like we also talked about that. So if you're cooking with it, of course, you're going to be killing off a lot of the microbes. So you're not going to be getting that benefit that it says on the container. So sometimes what you might want to do is just consider using it at the end of at the end of cooking. But if you're baking it into something that's hard to do, or like we're going to be doing it today, it's also included in the glaze that's put over top, so you're getting the benefit that way.
Unless or just eat it like you would.
Or just eat it, just eat it normally, of course. But also, we talked about postbiotics in our first class. So even if it is cooked, you're probably getting that postbiotic hit as well.
Okay.
Don't ask me any of these things next week. I will have forgotten.
I love it. You have all been tested, so take notes. All right, we're going to make our last recipe, no cabbage, I promise, but we're making these yogurt cinnamon buns with pear and spices and tangerine and all the amazing flavors. So what's nice is that it's a very simplified process. If you've ever had cinnamon buns before, or if you made them before, it is a lengthy process. Often a yeast-based dough, there's rising involved. We're skipping all that. So this is not going to be like your typical one. this is going to be a very quick, easy, rough and ready cinnamon bun. Okay? To start with the dough, we're using 2 cups of flour. Okay, this is just regular all-purpose flour. You can absolutely swap this out for like a whole wheat flour if you want. It will just absorb a little bit more moisture, so you can just keep an eye on that in here. I'm adding about a teaspoon of baking powder. This is going to help with a little bit of the rising, even though we don't have a long rising stage. Okay, and then a cup and a half of yogurt. It doesn't have to be the Activia one for the recipe. Any yogurt will work. So if you want to save the Activia one just for like the topping, which we'll also do, and you have another generic yogurt you want to use for because we're cooking it anyways, you can absolutely go ahead and do that.
Yeah, like if you want to bump up the protein, you can go with more of a Greek yogurt, or can you use skyr? Skyr as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, any yogurt will work. This is actually kind of like loosely based on a really good flatbread recipe from Jamie Oliver, actually, which is like something we use often at home because it's very easy. And I'm deciding to turn it into cinnamon buns. So we'll see how that turns out.
Which we all would consider doing. Yes.
Yeah. So about a cup and a half of the yogurt. Okay, so 2 cups of the flour to about a cup and a half of the yogurt. If you need to adjust, it should be a wet dough. If it's too dry, add a little more yogurt. If it's way too wet where it's not coming together, you can just add a little more flour. Okay, and then a couple tablespoons of butter or oil. You can use what you want. Obviously, your butter's your saturated fat, which we're trying to minimize, but we're using the small amounts here.
Yeah, minimize, but you don't have to eliminate. But all foods fit somehow.
Perfect. And there we go. And we'll stir whatever extra flavors that you want to add to this. This is like a base dough recipe. You can go for it. So you can turn this, like I do often with the Jamie Oliver recipe, into flatbreads and just like barbecue them or cook them in a pan. And it's easy, it's quick. And you can add like savory notes to this, right? You can add some like fresh herbs or dried herbs. Or if you want to go more sweet, you can add some different spices to this as well. So you can see that I am just coming together with a spoon, and it's sort of coming together into this like a wet, soft dough, but it shouldn't be like too sticky. So it's not really sticking to my hand, so it's kind of coming together. And I don't have to over knead it because it's not really going to be doing a lot of gluten building in here. We want it kind of soft. I don't want it too tough. And there we have our dough, and then I can put in the fridge. So that's like what?
That was fast.
5 minutes, yeah. Dough. Let it rest while you get the rest of your ingredients together. It's going to be messy, okay?
That's the fun part
That's
of
the
it.
fun part.
Does Christian help you with this? Christian and his little guy.
Yeah, no.
No.
So, pear grated, please. And you can slice it thin, but grated just comes a little bit easier to distribute. Orange or clementines. Really nice. Pear and clementines together. This is like kind of like as we ease in. Yes, this is what we do. So zest with or rasp, and we'll get some of that going. We're going to save the rest of the clementine for after. We're heading into the citrus season.
Starting to smell like the holidays.
Yeah. Well, even just in season, the citrus is in season at this time. So, really, really great product. So we'll have some of that there. I have some cinnamon. We have some spices, some walnuts. This is where you can experiment. Okay, a little bit of honey for sweetness. So that's what we're using for our toppings. Okay, get this out in advance. This makes it a little bit easier. Now we're going to roll this thing. Like I mentioned, this is going to get messy, but it works. Well, it did this morning. No, we're good. We're good. We're going to dust the bottom with a little bit of flour. Even though I have parchment, it's a softer dough. I don't want it to stick. So,
okay, so you have the cutting board, and then you have the parchment over top.
yeah. Then we're going to take our dough. Put that on top. Just a little bit more, sure. A little bit more flour on top of that. And I'll start with my hands first, just to flatten it a little bit. And you can kind of just use your hands the whole way out, but I find it a little bit easier. Daniela, can you tear me off a piece here?
How big?
Just about the same size as around the bottom.
Ah.
So I'm going to do a little bit more, and then right on top.
Like that.
Parchment on the bottom, parchment on the top. Get something that's round. A tin works, or like a glass, anything, and just flatten it between the two sheets of parchment. This is just going to really help prevent it from sticking. If you did this directly onto a cutting board, it will make a mess. It won't come off. So do it between the parchment, and I'm rolling it to about like a 1/4 inch to about a 1/2 inch thick. I don't want to go too thin.
Jeremy, are we at 101 ways to use parchment now?
Oh yeah, close.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it.
Who's looking at
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Parchment is always part of every demo.
It's
become my friend too.
It makes an appearance probably every episode.
I think I started using parchment a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. From here, me too. Me too. Yeah.
But it is in a good way.
Exactly.
It's so helpful. And
Especially, like you want to.
No, yeah. I'm just speechless because I love parchment.
Cleanup. It makes it easier for cleanup. People who have cancer-related fatigue, that is one of the biggest deterrents, right? Is the cleanup, and so using it in so many ways can help do that.
Yeah.
This I love too because it just makes it so much easier. I'm less intimidated now to make something like this.
Yeah. So we're gonna, once you have like a good thickness, we'll carefully peel this off. A little bit's going to stick to the parchment. That's fine. You could add a little bit more flour, and if you're not racing to finish a cooking class, then maybe be a little bit more patient than I am. But
You're doing a great job.
and we did it like this is supposed to be really kind of rough, ragged, like I mentioned. So don't stress out, even if it doesn't. Even if it sticks a little bit,
The nooks and crannies are all part of the
they make it even
experience.
better. They make it even better.
The glaze look.
Yeah. Right. So we have sort of a flattened piece. You can kind of like piece it together too, if you need to. Okay. And now we have our like little sheet here, which we're going to add all of our toppings. So we can add our cinnamon, add as much as you want there. Orange zest, it's kind of like little blobs and sprinkle. That grated pear. I don't want to go heavy on the pear because it's going to add even more moisture, but just...
The pear is giving us some additional soluble fiber. We've talked about prebiotics and probiotics and fiber, but this is more of a specific soluble fiber called pectin. It doesn't qualify as a prebiotic, but it's in the list of foods that can help with our digestive health.
And then if you want some nuts, some walnuts on here. Honestly, anything would work. You put dried fruit. If you want, like if you just want traditional cinnamon bun flavors, just go with that too. Just cinnamon, sugar. Right.
The fun thing about walnuts, I guess it's fun for a dietitian and a chef, maybe not for everybody. But the fun thing is that it has omega-3 fatty acids. So we always talk about our fish as being our main source of omega-3 fatty acids, but there's a different type that you can find in walnuts. So you're getting that, and you're also getting some fiber there too.
Absolutely. And then honey, whatever you want for a little bit of sweetness. You can just sprinkle it with maybe like a little brown sugar, maple syrup, right over top.
That looks beautiful, and it's not even cooked yet.
And then what you'll do is you want to roll this thing. Okay, so you're going to use that bottom part of the parchment, and again, it'll stick a little bit, but you should be able to use that parchment to just roll it in on itself. And just keep peeling it off and rolling. Let it get messy, that's okay. A bit more. More flour will help this as well, but it's okay. It can be messy.
We're racing.
And then that last little bit. And once you kind of like roll it in on itself, then you can kind of shape it and move it with your hands. And then just peel it off.
Can you just bake it into the
Full?
Yeah.
You could. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Because it is the pears and the dough itself is very wet,
Yeah.
concealed in the parchment, that moisture will stay.
Yeah.
Versus when it's dried out a little bit, like when it's open air baking, then more of that moisture evaporates, which is nice. This may look like a disaster. That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
It makes it less intimidating for us.
Yes.
And just to share with the audience at home, the question was whether you could bake this in the parchment.
And then rip it off a piece.
Oh, I thought you were handing me something.
So we're good. To bake it, you can put this on a baking tray. You can put this in muffin tins, or if you want to make like a giant one, you can kind of stick it into like a traditional cake tin, which we've lined with a little bit of parchment paper.
So that's use 102 if you're counting.
Yeah, on parchment. And then just slice the really messy pieces into like 2-inch kind of segments, like this. Making a mess today, which is good. And then I'm just going to grab those like little rolls.
It always tastes better when it's a little.
And place them together. So I want them to kind of touch, because as it bakes,
Coming in.
yeah. And again, don't worry about it being messy. The layers are there. We just want to make sure that we have our layers rolled in. And take your time when you do it at home. But we have this really messy looking, but delicious. In the oven, 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. You're going for color. Everyone's oven is going to be a little bit different, but when it bakes and you have some nice golden brown on top, I'm going to show you both. We did one kind of scrunched together like this. That's what the really messy one is going to look like, and it's really, really good. And then you can do them individually too. So instead of like mixing them all together, you can just put them in muffin tins, and you have more individually wrapped versions. And to finish, like Daniela mentioned, you want that supercharged true probiotic.
Yeah.
Yogurt.
Yeah. We'll be testing you
As
later.
our icing. So just scoop as much of the yogurt as you want. That remaining clementine, just squeeze that in, and then if you want a little bit of honey, a little more cinnamon, whatever you want for the flavor, until you get this really kind of glossy icing. If it's too loose, you can add a little bit of cornstarch, a little bit of icing sugar to that, and then mix it in, and it'll thicken up a little bit. But what we'll do is I'm going to grab one of these guys, so it'll come right off. I put a little paper in there.
Now my mouth's watering.
But you have, this is a mini version of,
Beautiful.
and you have that yogurt icing.
And like we talked about before, this way, adding it afterwards, you're maintaining the number of quality forming units of the probiotic culture. Mm-hmm.
Number 2 shot, please.
Number
Director.
2 shot, yes.
And we'll come in for everyone at home
There we go. Beautiful.
with the icing on top. Yogurt pear, cinnamon buns,
Mm-hmm.
probiotic discussion, lots of cabbage talk today, and we did it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
I'm just
Yes.
going to add one more comment about the probiotics. So if your immune system is weak, so if you're recovering from stem cell transplant or getting injection chemo, or you have digestive issues, please talk with your healthcare team first before introducing probiotics, whether it's in a food like the Activia yogurt, or whether it's in supplements. And I think, like if you want to make this recipe, definitely you can make it with the Greek yogurt, with a skier, lots of other options there. But probiotics was our topic for this recipe. And
lovely. Another quick question about the probiotics.
Oh, yes.
From our online viewers. So we're very happy about the information about probiotics. If they want high protein in something like a Greek yogurt and the probiotics, is there a yogurt that has both?
Good question. I haven't found it. So I actually sent Jeremy this link going, this is all that's available in Canada for probiotic yogurts. Yeah. So there isn't one that's available that does both, but you're still getting a good amount of protein in the regular yogurt here.
Yeah.
Or you can do like what we discussed earlier. If you wanted to use like the Greek yogurt, cook with it because you're actually killing the probiotics, and then just glaze it over top with the Activia, then you can go that route.
Yeah.
And a reminder, the reason we specifically set a brand is because that is the only brand that we could find that is a true probiotic here in Canada so far.
Yes.
In a yogurt format. Okay, great.
Round of applause to Daniela, because I know this is an insane amount of information on gut health. So thank you so much. Again, for those watching at home, we will be posting these recipes over the next day or two, and all that information. Daniela also put links together.
Yeah.
It will be on the website, so you can check that out. You have the recipes here in person. The links are written out, so if you don't want to type it, you can definitely wait for the pages. Thanks again. Join us for our last class of 2025, December 18th.
Oh, you know it. Okay.
I cheated. I love
I
it.
cheated.
Third Thursday, as always, 12 to 1. So feel free to come on down if you want to join us in person. Try some of the delicious food that our live studio audience will be able to try today. Otherwise, see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.